Hey, it's Tandy with Common Ground Alaska, and today we're going to make homemade peanut butter. And you're not going to believe how easy this is. There's a couple of reasons to make homemade peanut butter. One of them is because then you know every single ingredient that goes into it. The other reason is because apparently mold is an issue in peanut butter and in even sometimes in your sourced peanuts. So today what we're going to talk about is how to source your peanuts, how to make your peanut butter, and we're also going to talk about how to keep it so it won't separate, so it's yummy forever. So we're gonna start with how to source your peanuts. I get all of my peanuts from Azure Standard. Sometimes I will get the dry roasted peanuts, which is what we're gonna do today. That's the easy way to go about it. Sometimes, and my preference would be to get the raw peanuts. What I would do is I would soak the peanuts, then I would dehydrate them myself, and then I would make the peanut butter. Super simple process. Again, it's time consuming only because the dehydrating process takes time and the soaking takes time, but there's very little time that you will spend working on making doing your peanuts and making your peanut butter. So let's go ahead and get started. Because I'm using the dry roasted peanuts. These are already done, they're ready to go. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna pour them into your blender. I'll link to in the comments what I'm using, but it's just a Ninja little 3-piece blender thing. I use it every day for my kefir smoothies. I use it to make tons of things. So it's got 3 sizes, 3 different blades. It's super handy. I use it all the time. But let's start with this. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna put the blade in, and then I'm gonna pour the peanuts around. All right, now and of course we'll get all the crumbs in there. I'm just using up the tail end of this. We'll of course get all the crumbs in there because we are gonna make it into peanut butter anyway. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna add some salt. I will tell you, I do about a pinch. Salt is a tough one because it's a little bit variable. It depends on the family, depends on how salty you like things. We do use a good salt. This is Celtic sea salt. I typically will use Baja Gold for this, but the Celtic sea salt was right here and readily available. Another thing to talk about is the red-skinned peanuts, the Valencia or Spanish peanuts, tend to have fewer mycotoxins in them, and so they are a better one to use because you're less apt to have a mold issue with your peanut butter. So that's all I use. Actually, I buy only the Valencia peanuts to try to keep the mold at bay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on here. And so far our ingredients are peanuts and salt. That's it. And that's all we're going to have. So then you'll go ahead and get ready to run your blender. And I am going to show you the process of how this works. I'll keep pausing so you can kind of see where we're at, how things look, and you can see how simple it is to make peanut butter. I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to put this up by the camera so you can see. This is just like a peanut powder now. See, it's just like bunched up peanut or crunched up peanuts. This would be really good at this stage. This would be really good sprinkled on ice cream. Now when you take it a little further, it almost becomes like a peanut flour. The peanuts become super, super, super fine, but we're still obviously not at peanut butter. So let's keep going. Now I don't know if you can see this, but this is starting to separate a little. We're still not there, but we're getting closer. So this is the point where a lot of times people will either stop or they'll get excited and think, oh, we're there. And then you open it and you're like, oh, that's not quite it. Just keep going. Now we're at the paste stage. We're so close, but we're still not quite at peanut butter. I used to stop here and we'd eat it and it was fine, but all of the oils weren't quite, hadn't quite been released from the peanuts, so it was always still kind of dry and crumbly even though it was at the paste stage. So we're going to go just a tiny bit further. Now we've done it. We've made peanut butter. Now sometimes your blender, this one, I was getting a little warm, so sometimes you might need to stop for a minute, just give it a little break, bring it back up, no big deal. But I want to show you what this looks like, because the oils are now, you can see the oils in the peanut butter. It's nice and cohesive, like a peanut butter should be. And yeah, there you go. You have peanut butter. Now, what are you gonna do with this? Super simple, easy way to make sure that you keep your peanut butter and that it doesn't separate. That's the worst thing about fresh, good peanut butter, is a lot of times when you get it, it's separated and it's really hard to mix up. Let me show you a trick. All right, what I do is I put my peanut butter in a mason jar. I didn't quite fill this up as much as I usually do because I was out of peanuts. So, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this peanut butter out and you're just gonna put it straight into your mason jar. You can taste it at this point and see if it's salty enough, and if not, you can add a little salt and blend it a little longer. I'm sure that I added plenty of salt. So, all right, so you're gonna put that in your jar. Put the lid on your jar. Put this in the fridge. It's not gonna separate. As long as you keep it in the refrigerator, it will not separate. It'll stay nice and it will stay so fresh tasting. You are gonna love fresh homemade peanut butter. Imagine a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with homemade bread, homemade peanut butter, and homemade jelly. Oh, you can't beat it.